And this might come back to bite me, but it just felt, for the first time I went to a pony convention and it felt like I was at an anime con. And at the end of the convention, I just wanted to leave, like with my friends, and go do something else. And that's never happened before at a pony convention. I need you to understand, I'm saying these things not because I'm upset at you, but because I actually care. And maybe Ginger should edit the video to start with that.
Yeah.
Or edit that section of the video to start with that where I go, I actually care about a convention being decent and good, especially a pony convention. And when I say it felt like an anime convention, it felt like I was there to sell stuff. Put on panels, but in this case, no panel.
Here we have Fiaura with her side of the story.
My turn started on Tuesday morning, before Holland Ponycon, at 6 a.m. I get to Tucson Airport. Tucson Airport, never change. Nothing's open. Nothing is going to open until after my plane leaves. So I don't have breakfast. Get to Atlanta. And I'm like, okay, it can't be worse. I have 15 minutes to get from Terminal B to F in Atlanta. Okay, here we go. I get to the terminal, and they're calling for final boarding. I'm huffing and panting, and they're like, oh, we're using facial recognition for your passports. I walk up, show my passport. He says, try again. I hand him my passport. I go, manual verify. He's like, but I have to use the facial. The facial is not going to recognize me this century. Lets me on the plane. I get on the plane. I'm flying to Amsterdam. A French guy is seated over there, and the middle seat is empty. As soon as they say everyone's on board, he immediately turns, rips the pillow and blanket out of the middle seat, claims them both, throws the arm of the middle seat up, and puts his feet in it. Before we've even left the runway, he's already putting his feet up in the seat next in between us. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, that's not going to work. So what do? I take the big heavy computer bag and just... And he looks at me like, shocked, and I go, wait, I'm not having your feet against my thigh the entire ride. You can sit like I do. Besides, I'm going to use my computer. And then I decided to annoy him further. I turned the computer like it is now, catty-cornered towards him. So I turned the catty-corner towards him and turned on Hearts of Iron. With all of the different, with the color settings maxed out, so it would change all the colors all the time. Just, that's going to be crooked because the arm's crooked. Yeah. Just to annoy him. While trying to sleep. And then I decided I would annoy him even more. I left Hearts of Iron running, set up the music playlist, put it on my ears, and went to bed. With it running. With the AI in control of everything. I didn't even have a player. I was just being an observer. It was great. It only won the game, by the way. The Pope rose up and took over the world. Which was just like, did the Pope just go full dance? Whoop, yes, okay. Anyway, so hi.
Better Wingle Wangle?
Yes. I get to Amsterdam at 6 a.m. My bags weigh 200 kilos. 236 to be exact. But it's more than 200. Which means the customs officials confiscated my bags and searched them. All of them.
The bags.
They even opened some of my books and flipped through them to make sure they were books. And then they confiscated the root beer.
Oh yeah, the root beer.
They thought root beer was alcoholic. Amsterdam customs officials, root beer's not alcoholic. Joke's on you. I'm gonna laugh at the person who actually opens those and drinks them. There was nothing I could do or say to convince them that root beer was a soda.
Well, it does. The name does say
I
beer.
know. But ginger ale says ale, and it's totally not.
Ah,
So Sophie didn't get her root beer. Amsterdam customs, you owe my wife you owe my wife 24 IBC root beers. Get on it. Because they're $200 to import to England. Get on it. Anyway, next thing. I get to the hotel. I'm not allowed to check in till 3, so I think, oh, I'll just stow my luggage, which the hotel's happy to do. Go exploring. Immediately lock my card. Immediate. There's a farmer's market. I want to go buy fancy bread and cheese because they have it. And it wasn't even expensive. It was like, here, you could have like this entire thing of fresh brie that's steaming hot and like 5 croissants for €4, which is less than $4 because the dollar is apparently worth more than the euro now, which is horrific. But anyway, yep, immediately locked my card. And PayPal doesn't open until 3 in the afternoon in Amsterdam for me to talk to. Because I tried to talk to the London office on the phone, and they're like, yeah, you have to wait for the American office to open. And I'm like, I need to know. So then, I just go back to the hotel and remorse over the fact that they removed their couch. For these little like circle things that you really can't like sleep on
no.
or rest on properly.
You can sit on them, but you don't get a proper rest.
You can sit on them, but like your butt and back hurt after a little bit. It just annoyed me. So we went to eventually they let me check in early. I went up to my room and I just said, bucket. I'm just going to sleep. So I went to sleep. So Kriz got there. And then revealed that my door apparently didn't close on its own. It was ajar. When is the door not a door? When it's ajar.
Yeah.
Came in. I woke up. Went to dinner. At the burger place.
The burger place. Nom 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 nom.
I'm glad you liked it.
I forgot about the Thai restaurant. I should have told that in my story.
Oh no.
Yes, you have the honor. That's Thai restaurant.
First day of Holland Ponycon. We had a fun time. I streamed most of it. I got up on stage. We had a great time.
A lot of good stuff.
Then we go to dinner. And they want us to try this Thai place. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try it. So first off, it's the first time I've ever seen a restaurant. I know. It's the first time I've ever seen a restaurant that won't split the check. Okay.
Mesdames, Messieurs,
Time for French
bienvenue
Pony
qui viennent de nous rejoindre. Je suis Franck, votre chef de bord. Avec tout le personnel, nous restons à votre disposition pour vous aider et répondre à vos questions. Nous souhaitons un agréable voyage. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to most passengers who have just joined us. My name is Frank. I am your flight manager. Along with the opponent, we are happy to provide you with any airport information you may need. We hope you enjoy your journey.
I like how I spelled a train manager, not a conductor.
Sorry, sunrise.
It's fine. Child trains manager, not a conductor. It's conductor. We call them conductors. I assure you, Frenchman. I assure you, Frank. We call them conductors. It's a very important title. Or we call them engineers. Anyway, we got to
the Thai restaurant, where people had mostly good food.
I had bleh, and you had
Ow.
oh yeah. They didn't understand what not spicy meant.
And for people who have forgotten or don't know, pepper is spicy.
She's the whitest white girl you know. The whitest white girl.
So they ended up giving me something that was spicy, that's not supposed to be spicy. So the whole dinner, I sit like, owie, a lot of owie, all the owie. So, yeah, I didn't get much food in me that evening.
The Thai place was disappointing. They took us back to it too.
Yeah, but this time we had something else.
Oh, this time I didn't eat.
Oh yeah. But you weren't hungry anyway. Yeah, but it's okay.
I just had tea,
Yeah.
Sprite.
Yeah. The food I had the second time was good. And my dearest dog also liked it.
Excuse me, I had tea and Sprite, and oh yeah, they didn't have a dessert menu, did they?
I don't remember.
They didn't have a dessert menu. Yeah, I just had tea and Sprite. Went to the roller rink place and I almost got stung by a bee.
Multiple times.
Like every 5 minutes, it was me jumping up out of my chair and running away and waiting for the yellow jacket to leave, over and over and over again. And then it brought reinforcements, and I was like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. They even forgot your chicken wings.
Yeah, they forgot my chicken wings.
I ordered a cola, but they never arrived because apparently they sent the wrong person to deliver it. So it never went to the table, and I didn't see it until somebody told me right before or after.
And when they finally gave me the chicken wings, we went to leave after we paid, and somebody chased us down and told us that we hadn't paid for the chicken wings. So that just cost me like 20 euros out of nowhere because I thought I paid for them.
Yeah.
Well,
You should have paid for them because I think you told them.
Well, I
that you
told them
had
and
it.
everything.
Yeah.
It's very, I'm convinced I was double charged.
Yeah. If it was an accident or not, that we do not know. But
We did go on a Pokemon journey, and I got all of the region locks. At least one. I got at least one. I might get another one while we're in Amsterdam. Don't know. I've had my phone basically on airplane mode since we got in England because I don't want to, because it's all roaming here.
yeah.
And then as soon as we get back to Amsterdam, it'll be like, oh, normal service.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, England, what the hell? You know he's gonna censor it. Love you. I just gotta make sure Ginger has to work.
Det kan ju bara fortsätta snacka norsk så får han väldigt mycket jobb efter. Det blir säkert inte sant, men ligger ju det. Jag vet inte.
Only Paziki.
Du, han ska begynne å oversette det en gang, så blir det litt mye å spørre.
Men jag får Shingen.
Kos deg. Ja.
Ofta.
So, we tried to find daily stores in Holland as well.
Oh yeah.
That was quite far.
Yeah, finding a daily store was an adventure. I could not find.
They don't take Visa in that shop.
Oh yeah.
You have to
No.
take out cash.
I'm still using Steffi's hoodie.
Steffi's wasn't it Frank's?
I'm still using Frankie's hoodie.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frankie.
Thank you.
I'm gonna mail this back to you, but I'm still using his hoodie because like okay,
Your jacket that you had from the start, I think you borrowed as well.
this is the same one.
So, didn't you have a gray jacket in the start?
I live in Arizona, and I forgot that cold exists for 5 minutes. Came over here with no jacket because I didn't think I needed it. I got off the plane in a tank top and a pair of relaxed shorts, and immediately went, "It's cold." It's really cold.
Yeah.
So Frankie gave me a hoodie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Frankie. Which I'm going to wash this and mail this back to you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know if he likes beef jerky.
We can find out.
Yeah. Then you can include like a small package or something.
But no, it's just fun experience with that. But anyway, Holland Ponycon was actually quite a bit of fun. And so we get to UK Ponycon. How was it? There were huge sections of like their scheduled events that was just empty. It was nothing.
They should probably go and get that so they can see it. Or they can go and look it up online.
Yeah, you can go look it up online. It was
UKPonycon.com.
they had like one panel running, or it was karaoke, and that was the only thing going. And the vendor hall. The vendor hall was okay. So I'm going to describe this as best I can. The website promises a 1.5 meter table by 1.2 meter table. Those who don't know what that is, that's 4 by 6. What we got was a 1 by 1.2, or a 3 by 5. Smaller than what we expected. The tables had no sheets that came with them. You had to provide your own, which meant there were several vendors who didn't have anything to put over their table. I borrowed a sheet from the hotel room. I brought it back. Chris and Scott slept in it.
Yeah. Forgotten. Love you.
The chairs that were provided were like,
Uncomfortable.
I brought a pillow from the hotel room to sit on. Uncomfortable. I'm not entirely sure that's their fault. The venue required all of you to be searched every time you came and went.
It did.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the badge.
not just the badge. Like we had to have our bags looked at. And I'm like, I'm a vendor. This is just ridiculous. I get security reasons and everything, but seriously, there was like no separate entrance for vendors or guests or anyone. You just got a separate line that buffed you to the front of the line, but then you still had to go through the same security line.
Yeah. I will say this though, they had a lot of very nice banners. They had a lot of very good art, and when we looked at the karaoke, it looked very nice. They had a good program. They seemed like they had a lot of songs. So I would give thumbs up for the karaoke.
Yeah, the thumbs up for the karaoke. That was nice. I don't know that I could give thumbs up for much of anything. Their charity auction was an hour, and they put it in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and Final Sight's mayonnaise. Like that has like all the words that Duskflare designed, like the mark, only went for like £17 or something. It was super small. I got so sad.
Yeah, I don't mean offense, but their auctioneer was just like not enthusiastic.
Wasn't it not?
It was just really low key.
Sadness.
Like Dusty and Foley, like they work up the crowd. Their auctioneer wasn't doing that. He was just auctioning.
Yeah, like even I was about to say Flim and Flam, who does it on Holland Ponycon. Like they were like getting the crowd. They were even bidding on some of the things themselves.
Yeah, but they would work the crowd.
Yeah.
And
They
this
had two hammers. They bonk at the same time.
and this auctioneer was not doing that. And the thing is, you put the charity auction in the middle of the day, it lasts an hour, and then you still have hours for vendor hall afterwards. Why? Like, as a vendor, I know from experience that once the charity auction starts, packing up is fine. I'm not going to sell anything else. I'm wasting my time 99% of the time. I mean, I know there are some vendors who argue with me, but the fact of the matter is, at Everfree, for instance, I stayed open because someone insisted I should. I sold nothing for 4 hours. I didn't even have anyone come up to the table for 4 hours because the only thing left was the charity auction and closing ceremonies, and that's where everyone was. Why did I stay open for 4 hours? I could have closed at 2 and gone and had a good time with my friends. Whereas at TrotCon, I knew I was running the charity auction. There was no sense in it, so I closed down and packed everything up and sent it to my room well beforehand. And as soon as the charity auction was over, I went and had a good time. Or tried to. The point being, I closed at 2 because I knew I closed at 2 at Holland Ponycon, and all the vendors at Holland Ponycon reported the same thing. So the charity auction started. That was it. There wasn't any post-charity auction rush. There's not any post-charity auction rush. Everybody spent all their money at charity auction. And then
Breathe.
my vendor friends here at UK Ponycon reported the same thing. As soon as the charity auction started, that was it. That was the end of the day. And I knew it was going to be the end of the day. So I closed at 2, went home. The staff that hung out, they were great. The actual staff were wonderful. We had a guy who accidentally didn't process the PayPal payment, and I couldn't check at the time on the Saturday, so I was scrambling to get through 4 people as fast as I could. And he walked off with $81 stuff.
Yeah. I ran around like the whole thing.
Security went and found him. We fixed it. It was an honest mistake. Wonderful German man. But it was just one of those things where it's like, oh. So security was great.
Yeah, and the other stuff that helped with that as
The
well.
other staff was great. They helped with her getting sick. They made sure she was okay.
Yep. They offered to call a taxi. They offered to call an ambulance. At least when they talked to one person. I don't know what it dealt
and they came by twice after she'd already gone up to
to go to the hotel.
to the Scott's room.
Yeah, or they cared.
To ask me how she was doing, and I was supposed she's resting comfortably. That's all I had. That's all I knew.
Yeah, I was sleeping like a dead mouse.
Ed and Sam took me for the first time ever to Hooters.
Sam?
Wheelchair person.
Oh.
I'm saying that because it would be easy for her to remember who that was.
Yeah.
They took me to Hooters. I've never been to Hooters. American Hooters, anyway. So they took me to a British Hooters. It was okay. The wings were spicy. The wings had flavor. The Tex-Mex melt burger could have been better. Other than that, it was a good time.
Yep. Also, I gotta say, I know they want UK Ponycon focuses very much on the kids. I saw some kids, like under 20 kids.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I wasn't there half of the first day, but still.
No, you're...
So, like, what I would, with the best interest of UK Ponycon, would say, if you guys wanna have more people coming, have a section where you can have, shall I say, our generation bronies panels or activities. I'm not saying have an after dark vendor hall. You don't have to.
We're not talking after dark vendor hall. We're not talking not safe for work stuff.
No. You don't have to include that. Just have our type of stuff.
Like PG-13 and lower.
Yeah.
But, you know...
That would be really, really nice because then you can have, like, for example, Brony Church that she has that has gotten popular. You can have other people who has different panels, maybe...
Because everyone I talked to after looking at the panel list was like, yeah, this feels like BronyCon panels. Which is the worst thing you want to hear from a BronyCon. This feels like BronyCon panels. That's the worst thing a Ponycon can say.
So, also, I don't want to say I hate the con, because I don't. They're good in it. And they're like, French pony time! So yeah, UK Ponycon, if you guys open up for more regular panels, there might be more people coming your way, and
It's
more people can be able to enjoy, and I would come back.
It's not just more people coming their way. It's like most of the people would come like check out the vendor hall,
And go.
and then they would go do something else. They didn't stay at your con. It was something I really noticed was that most people had 1 or 2 trips to the vendor hall, and then I would never see them again. And the people I talked to, it was because like there was no panels they were interested in. There was nothing they wanted to do, and the stuff that was available, either they could do it at another convention, or it was just
For
not,
kids.
or it was just for kids.
Like the kindness games sounded like what you said, the equestrian games that they had on the other part. So that sounded nice.
Except for it was for kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Like BabsCon has escape rooms and panels for a variety of ages, and then they have a adults only section after
Stuffies.
after a certain time of night. And like, I don't understand. You have the convention center all weekend, and according to the convention center's, like I looked through the convention center website to get some information to try to figure out what was going on. According to the convention center's website, you guys were allowed to be open till 11 p.m. and you consciously chose to close at 7. And I'm like, okay, I get it, 2-day convention, but you were a 2-day convention with 1 day's worth of activities and panels. And wait, like there were just sections of your panel sheet, and I hope Ginger's wrote it up on screen at some point
Yeah.
to illustrate. That was just like you had a voice actor panel, nothing else, karaoke. That was the entire 2-hour period. And it was a voice actor panel. It's like we've all seen these voice actor panels before.
They're lovely.
They're lovely. This is nothing new.
Mm.
And it's not being run by someone in the fandom who has any name recognition for being good at it. It's just being run by one of your staff. I don't mean offense to that staff person, but that goes a long way towards selling the panel. When, like, you're having a voice actor panel and Foley is at the convention, which, by the way, Foley lives in the UK. Just saying.
So for people who doesn't know who Foley is,
Papers. He is Dusty Cat's assistant auctioneer. He's also a very good VIPR person for the voice actors and community guests. And also, he is they are, excuse me, pardon, they are an incredible interviewer who always makes sure to have different questions than any other interviews they've done, and to have something unique to point out so the voice actors actually have some, fun. But yeah, no, the things I saw of panels were just like, I'm bored, I'm leaving. And I'm sorry to say that, like, I don't understand your event programming, and you might not ever invite me back, you might ban me from your convention for saying this, but if the panels were still set up the same way, and the vendor hall was set up the same way, and there were no announced changes, I'm just going to tell everyone not to go. Just straight up. You can
or
get,
like not recommending.
you can get better activities at other conventions within distance to Nottingham. I've got an email from the Friendship Festival and from Griffish Isles in my email box right now. And Holland Ponycon. All 3 of which are within a 6-hour train ride from anywhere on the island to go to. And you'll get better panels, better hotel room prices, better food, and a much more lively convention. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's just how I felt at the end of it. Is if I had the option to tell myself to do this all over again, I would just go home after Holland Ponycon. Me and Chris would just both go home. It was not worth going to. And I know that Hello, French lady. Oh no, we switched to Dutch lady.
Ah, we need a Dutch pony now.
We need a Dutch pony now, Ginger.
Yeah. Put in puffertje. For December. So they are they that put in puffertje.
En coach number 7 or coach number 13. Thank you.
Ja, ik vind hem wel gek. Ik zou
Anyway.
een keer van een ziekenhuisvisite
Yeah, I would just not go. Like, I saw my friends, and my friends were wonderful, and they were nice to hang out with, and it was a good time with them.
Play friends.
I would just go hang out with my friends instead of going to the con.
Die kom even die kant op in het ziekenhuis.
Sales-wise, like, I sold some stuff, but I didn't sell enough to make it worth going to. Like, I didn't break even. I'm well short of breaking even. I would have broken even if I just came straight home from all the Ponycon.
Maar ik vind juist nog sociale eenvoudigheid. Ja, dat is een probleem. En wie is dat?
And I know the reason for that is I didn't get to run any panels and really like show off my work or sell my work or get people to come by and support me. But that's also because they refused to allow me to do any panels. Like Fallout Equestria panel rejected, but they let someone buy a full page Fallout Equestria ad in their con book, but they won't let you run a Fallout Equestria panel. They even have on their form where, you know, you set an age rating for your panel, and apparently they just blanketly rejected all PG and PG-13 panels. If you were not rated kid friendly, you were just rejected outright. And I'm like, even Everfree, that runs zero adult-oriented content, isn't that draconianly obscure about knowing their audience. Because what did everybody do Saturday night? They didn't go to panels. They didn't go to the music rave.
No, but I heard the ones who did go to the music had a good time because they had a lot of good people.
But most of them went to parties and got drunk.
Yeah.
Also, you allowed a musician who sent their set beforehand, by the way. Over yours.
Not safe for Chris.
He sent his set beforehand, let them review it and everything, and they approved it. Who then sang about, during that set, fucking a dead chicken. And got the audience to sing about it with him. Okay. You allowed that. And he sent you the set beforehand. There was no change in the set, by the way. We checked. And you let that one go. But me doing Roni Church or Fallout Equestria or Science the Flank panel with Pinkie Pie, they rejected Science of Pinkie Pie. Me doing any of those, not okay. I am sus. You let a Fallout Equestria ad go into your con book. You wouldn't let me put on a Fallout. You wouldn't let anyone put on a Fallout Equestria panel. I am sus.
Also, to the commercial itself didn't have anything that a kid would be scared of.
It's still
But it was still Fallout Equestria, yeah.
And it's not like my panel has much of anything that a kid's going to be scared of. But, you know, and I'm flexible with my panels. So if there's something in it you don't like beforehand, I can edit it out. And I offered that, and they said, no, we're going to refuse this outright. I'm like, I can just edit that part out and remove those slides. And they still were just draconian would be the statement I would use. Absolutely draconian. I'm not upset at the con. I'm upset at the person in particular because I have a British wife. I understand British language and mannerisms when used in text. I know you were being intentionally rude to me. I know how that works. Wink. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know who it is. I'm just as curious as you guys.
it was just, there was that. The guy who, the staff, the 3 staff members who came out and hung out at the table with me, thank you guys. You guys were fun.
Yeah, awesome.
You guys
There were
were
a lot of
awesome.
awesome people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people was like the star.
There were a lot of awesome people in person. And it turns out that like a lot of things that were going on was like the right hand didn't talk to the left hand, and then
Oh no.
and then the right hand made an executive decision, and then the left hand didn't know about it until like days
Before.
later.
Oh.
That was a thing that was explained to me repeatedly, was that they just made an executive decision and didn't discuss it with anyone. Or they discussed it as a group, as a committee, and then the person in charge of the committee made the decision for the committee, regardless of what the committee's vote was. And I'm like, that's weird. Why would I have a committee in the first place if you just have an executive decision? This is what was explained to me. This might not be right because, you're taking third-hand explanation where one person tells one person and then that person tells me what they heard. Playing game of telephone, and game of telephone is not always fun.
Nope.
Yeah, I really don't understand. Because every way that UK Ponycon is different, and they kept talking about that in online conversations, so that was a good thing, than other conventions.
Also, I never caught that it's different as a good thing.
Yeah, no.
I only caught it as this is for collectors.
Yeah, every way that UK Ponycon is, quote, different than other conventions, was in a negative way.
It's not, also, I wouldn't say it is a negative way. I would just say it's not for bronies.
Yeah,
It's for kids and families and those who wants to collect G1-ish or
Yeah.
previous generations. So if you want to be a con for family, kids, and collectors of those, keep doing what you're doing, but maybe have a second look on your music channel.
and
But if you want to be one for bronies,
yeah,
you might need a little changing in the program and
I
panels.
did notice that with the majority of the vendors. Majority of the vendors, it wasn't their own stuff they made or created or fandom
It
creation.
was old stuff.
It was resale.
Yeah, it was collector stuffies.
And I'm like, okay, I understand now why I have to fill out this form for the Nottingham City Council about resell stuff. And I'm like, I'm not reselling anything. But some poor bureaucrat now has to figure out how to enter into their computer system a U.S. area code, a Delta flight number as the vehicle that transported me there, and a U.S. phone number. Good luck to you, Nottingham bureaucracy. Because I know the English. They're not just going to throw it away. They're going to have to figure out how to enter it in the system, which makes it great.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, they also locked me out on Sunday morning. We had to go back to the main entrance.
but yeah, weren't we a little late though? That was maybe on our part.
We're like 5 minutes late, but you would think they would still have the vendor entrance open.
Yeah, or at least a guard or something
Yeah.
nearby, because they had like the beautiful banners. They had the beautiful banners all the ways, and like they had an exit that was around the corner that you could see from where we were standing. That kind of looked open, but it would have been a long way for us to go around, especially since I was so reduced, having no sleep and a lot of pain the whole night through.
Yeah, which was just a thing. And I know I've said for like the last 20-something
Hour?
minutes complaining about UK Ponycon, but I just don't understand really. And this might come back to bite me, but it just felt... For the first time, I went to a pony convention and I felt like I was at an anime con. And at the end of the convention, I just wanted to leave, like with my friends, and go do something else. And that's never happened before at a pony convention. I need you to understand, I'm saying these things not because I'm upset at you, but because I actually care. And maybe Ginger should edit the video to start with that.
Yeah.
Or edit that section of the video to start with that where I go, I actually care about a convention being decent and good, especially a pony convention. And when I say it felt like an anime convention, it felt like I was there to sell stuff. Put on panels, but in this case, no panel. I realize her name is Jennifer, but we can't call her Jennifer.
Why not?
We have to come up with a pony name for her. Anyway, we'll come up
Sapphire Jewel.
Sapphire Jewel, yeah. Our train conductor, Sapphire Jewel. There we go. Anyway, I say negative stuff about a con not because I want the con to die or anything, but because
No, you want the opposite.
I want the opposite. I want them to improve and actually get better. So the thing with UK Ponycon that really strikes me, the like summary here is this. At an anime convention, everyone is cliquish and goes off and does their own thing, and I'm there to just work. It's not fun for me. It's not exciting. It's not magical. It's just there. I'm going to put on some panels. I'm going to sell stuff at my vendor table, and I'm going to go home. That's not the experience of any other pony convention I've been to, whether it be in Europe or in the North America or in Australia or in Singapore. Those were genuinely drastically different from this, and drastically different in all positive ways. So I would encourage you to go to a different one, just to see the difference.
I think the first one that's coming up now, at least in America, is HarmonyCon.
Yeah.
And the
By the
first
time this
one,
video comes out, yeah, HarmonyCon, because Ponyville Cider Fest will already be over.
yeah.
I'm not able to go to Ponyville Cider Fest this year. My finances aren't going to support it because I don't have the upfront cost.
Yeah.
But you know,
Unless somebody donates. Ooh.
I've already decided not to go.
Oh.
Even if someone handed me like $1,500 right now, I wouldn't go. So Ponyville Cider Fest is already over. The next one in America is HarmonyCon.
In February.
There's one in Canada in January. That's a small one.
What's the name?
Vancouver.
Oh,
Vancouver Pony Expo. It's pretty good.
yeah.
It's just very small.
Otherwise, it's GalaCon in June, I think.
Galacon for Europe.
Yep.
Friendship Festival and Griffish Isles for the UK in May and April.
May and April. Okay.
There
May
you
and
go.
April. Both?
Yeah,
They're 2 times?
there's 2 different cons.
Oh.
You got BabsCon.
Yeah.
BabsCon, I encourage
That's
you.
in April.
Babs in April. Who else?
Well, then if you...
Winnie City.
Well,
Winnie City's Sequestria Fest.
yeah.
Epona Fest.
That's in Italy.
Italy. Winnie City's in Chicago. Sequestria's in Maryland.
Yeah.
It's in the U.S.
That
If
is-
you're on the other side of the Putin curtain, you still have Are You BronyCon. They're still meeting. You just, we'll have to figure out how, where, and why, because as usual, the meeting place is a secret and only known to those who know Comrade.
After that, I guess it's Holland Ponycon again.
Yeah,
Come to Holland Ponycon.
TruckCon.
Oh, Dratcon. Yeah, how did we forget Dratcon? And then Cider Fest.
If you want the adult party con, TruckCon. Anyway, come to TruckCon. And then we have Holland Ponycon and Cider Fest again.
No, it's Ponycon Holland. It's just
Ponycon
me who
Holland.
says the wrong, and now apparently I have.
You have spread the disease of the wrongness.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Um,
And I'm one of the mascots. I should do it right.
but yeah, Ponyville Cider Fest and Holland.
No.
Ponycon Holland.
Yeah.
And Everfree Northwest. Everfree North. So
It's all the cons. We
So,
should
like-
probably put. I think we have in the Concord. We have pinned like a list of all the cons.
so if you want just good convention experience, like HarmonyCon and Winnie City and Ponyville Cider Fest, this is just good
In
PonyCon.
America.
If you want unique, weird PonyCon, go to Ponifest.
Ponyfest.
Ponifest in Italy.
Yeah, Ponyfest. Okay, yeah.
Good.
What's that?
Unique. It is unique in a good way, and it's weird and it's fun.
How?
There's literally like a motorcycle cafe across the street.
Cool.
Dusty took so many pictures, and I'm just like, I am so jealous. I was sitting in quarantine looking at Dusty's Twitter feed, foaming at the mouth, unable to get on a plane to even go home, much less to Italy. If you want adult-oriented, TruckCon.
And NSFK.
If you want a very mixed convention that's going to have a lot of different activities for everybody, but also not have, and also just be all over the place, BabsCon.
BabsCon, that's 3 days.
It's
awesome.
it's 3 days of crazy.
Yeah.
So, Everfree Northwest. If you want a child-friendly con run correctly, Everfree Northwest. They're very Kriz. They're very safe for Kriz.
Maybe I should go there.
It's very well done, very well run, and it's incredibly highly populated.
That is nice.
It's also like the writers' convention. Like, if you like fan fiction stuff, go there. Let's see.
Peanut.
There's Sequestria Fest was fun. It's a Sequestria. If you want like a smaller convention experience where you're going to be more intimate with individual people, Sequestria Fest, Vancouver, they're great. They're small, granted, but they were just fun to go to. The hotel are incredibly cheap, and it's just a nice time. If you want Big Con, go to GalCon or Everfree or BabsCon if you want just Big Con.
GalCon! I'm gonna be there next year.
Oh, by the way, conventions, you know I'm just going to give my unfiltered opinion. And if you want the adult, let's get drunk, let's have fun, let's talk about crazy, go to TruckCon. TruckCon's also 24 hours. Like, they have panels at 3 in the morning.
Oh, gosh. That sounds fun, but exhausting at the same time.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, they're 24 hours. They have panels all day. The vendor hall is set up with a preference towards the vendors, so there's like a lunch break for the vendors, and then
Oh,
the
that's nice.
vendor hall runs till 7, and then flips to the after dark hall until midnight.
Yeah, that's when I'm not there. Yeah, I don't know if I can give my proper opinion because I haven't been on that many cons yet. But like, I know when I enjoy myself or not.
And a charity auction's a blast because we randomly interrupted to auction a marshmallow.
So it's kind of like Holland Ponycon with boxes. They have marshmallows.
But yeah. Next year, I'll just come up here and hang out with my wife and my friends. I'm not going to UK Ponycon unless there's some major changes announced.
Hey, we can still go to the Dice Mug. Go to Donegal for the cafe.
Yeah, there were some other things that bugged me. Okay. So this is Ponycon Holland's.
No, that's one of them. The other was Fairy Tale. I have that one.
This is their lanterns. This is what UK Ponycon gave everybody, unless you were a sponsored badge. Here's the 2 badges. Now these look very similar, except for this is on cardstock that's a little flexible. This is on regular old-fashioned printer paper. This isn't even like art printer paper. This is just plain printer paper. That was the other thing that bugged me about UK Ponycon was everything came off as cheap. They had a higher attendance than Ponycon Holland. They have a higher attendance than TrotCon.
And that draw counts. Oh, wow.
And everything came off as cheap. And
Except the
inexpensive.
people. The people was awesome.
The people were nice, but like the physical items and the way the convention was set up, it just came off as cheap. And I'm like, okay, how much is this convention center? Because in all honesty, you should probably just rent a large hotel's convention center for less money.
Didn't you check how much an entire place cost?
I did, but I still don't have like, there's a couple things just missing. Until I fill in all the blanks, I'm not going to make a big comment on that.
No, of course not, because if you don't have all the facts, you shouldn't say something.
Right. I have suspicions, but I don't have concrete proof of those suspicions. Nor do I have a way to prove them. I just know that there were some weird things mentioned to me by the staff.
Oh.
like their accountant was
Changed every year, wasn't that?
their accountant has changed every year. Their accountant for this year was unsure why they weren't paying staff members. Which I'm like, if you are making so much money that the accountant is unsure why you're not paying staff members, how much money are you making?
Mm.
I
Like,
think-
I can understand if you want to save money for next year's con. That's one thing. But then it needs to go into a specific account, right?
Yeah, I don't have the what. I know the books the accountant's looking at in front of me, so I can't say much about that.
Fair.
But what I do know is that when I inquired to the event center that UK Ponycon was running out of, it's £22,000 to rent it for the weekend. Well, at least that's what I was told. And this was the most expensive vendor table I've ever paid for.
That turned out to be smaller and without something to cover it.
Yeah, it turned out to be smaller without something to cover it with the least comfortable chairs I've ever paid for.
Yeah, didn't you pay for outlets and internet?
Oh, yeah.
What happened to that?
Well, everybody had internet, so you didn't have to pay for that. But I did pay for an outlet. They still haven't got back to me on that.
Oh, no.
And I didn't get an electrical outlet, so I couldn't stream all weekend. But, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to get my money back. I don't think they're going to talk to me. Especially after this video. I think they're going to avoid me like the plague.
Mm.
Wouldn't be surprised they blacklisted me. Like, I want them to improve and get better.
Yeah, like that would be nice because, you know, the cafe is there and we have friends there.
Yeah, and like,
You can see your wife there.
like if they improve and get better, and then turn around and like invite me to come back and re-review it. Okay.
Yeah, also,
Like, prove me wrong is what I want you to do. Like the people we talked to, I was like, name a panel at this convention that I can't see at any other convention. And they had a hard time. Like a really hard time. Before they came up with the panel they were running.
yep. Very nice guys. What I gotta say? Like, I think like the con was great for kids, family, and collectors of older generations because that was basically what everything was phased around, except some of the voice actors were from Gen 4, which most of the vendors who didn't have mostly Gen 4 stuff were actually like, I don't like them. Of course, people are free to have whatever likes and dislikes they want, but that told me that this is not a con for G4 or G5. This is a con for
Most of their attendees were for G4 or G5.
Yes,
So,
but because they mostly thought they were going to be all of it, not just the previous ones. Like, Tales of Equestria people were there. I finally had a chance to sit and talk to them. That was just not over the internet. I'm a big Tales of Equestria fan.
but like, well, most of the vendors were for G1 to 3, and I kept seeing them like have these depressive looks or these upset looks because the people weren't there for that. So, and then like the G5 vendors just like sold out.
Yep,
We sold out of like a bunch of G4 stuff.
yep.
I brought 21 coffee cups across, 3 of each of my coffee cups across the ocean.
Yeah,
I'm going home with like 5.
yeah. Didn't you sell out most of your posters also?
I sold off almost all the posters I brought. Sold off half the books I brought. Sold off almost all the buttons.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Remember at the end when you were buying them and I was just like taking some off the table?
Yeah, I thought that because we were closing down.
No, because I was out of them.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could have brought the big wild Pegasus bottles. I would have sold out of those easily.
Yeah, those went fast.
Yeah, the little wild Pegasus bottles disappeared.
Yep.
Wild Pegasus bottle disappeared. Yeah, it just doesn't. Like there's a disconnect, I guess, at UK Ponycon between the audience they have, the vendors that they invite, and the staff. and the disconnect is causing problems. And maybe I'm on the wrong side of the disconnect. I don't know. What I do know is I wouldn't come back unless expressly invited. I'll go to Ring of I'll go to Festival of Friendship. I'll go to Brew for Shadows.
Yay.
We'll have a great time. I'll see my wife.
Yeah, Festival of Friendship I'm having hopes for.
Oh yeah.
Griffin Isle sounds fun.
Yeah, here. So
And then if some other con that we heard talks about pops back up, I'm not going to say what because I don't want to give people spoilers. Huh? Oh!
so this is from Festival.
Are you sure you're allowed to show it?
I have not been given an NDA.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm signing this yet or not, and I don't know if I'm going yet or not. But here's what they sent me.
I have not gotten anything.
It was lovely to meet you in person. I attached your contract for the event below. Please have a thorough read through and ask us any questions. We will be requiring an image to represent you for our guests for any announcements we make, and we will be requiring additional images of your OC for our usage.
Yeah.
We will also need a clear reference to do any animations we choose to do.
Ooh. Fancy.
We look forward to hearing back from you. Fishy.
Fishy! Hi, Fishy!
So I'm going to mark this as unread, because
You need to see it. Yeah, I haven't
I need to see
gotten
it again.
anything, but again, I'm just a small voice actor. I don't expect to be invited anywhere. I'm honored enough that Holland Ponycon invited me. I need to blow my nose. My nose is going teddy-witty.
But yeah, so they sent me an email. And Griff Giles' email's in here too.
Somewhere.
So, yay. And both of them were like, cool. I haven't read anything yet. I haven't committed to anything yet. I'm not official yet. So, this is not an announcement of me going. We'll be wrapping up when Kriz gets back. But yeah. Go to, like, if you're here for G4, go to, she took Murderbird with her. I can't end the video now. She took Murderbird with her. I'm not ending the video without Murderbird. You all know what? Jenny the Murderbird, basic bird. I want my Murderbird. I want my Murderbird. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out. It's made this trip back to Holland more exciting to be able to talk to you guys and hang out. I think we're approaching Rotterdam. And then we're going to head to Amsterdam. And then we're going to get off. I hope this is Rotterdam. Well, I know the train stops, period. Like, done for the day once it gets to Amsterdam. So I'm not worried about them driving it somewhere else. We can take our time getting off the train. Like, without outside input, really, I don't know what to say at this point about UK Ponycon. It just... It's frustrating. Alright, it's frustrating. Because they clearly have an audience. They clearly have the event space. They clearly have the ability to come back year after year.
I'm gonna check the food stuffies.
Murderbird. Can you stay and wrap up?
What do you mean wrap up?
We're wrapping up the video.
Winter wrap up, video wrap up. It's time to end the video.
I just hope maybe they'll talk to some people and figure out, you know, the stuff that I'm saying, or come talk to me. In the meantime, I have Murderbird. I'll see you guys on Pokemon. I hope the Pokemon Emerald video is out before this, or if it's not, it's coming out. And I'll be over streaming Platinum, and hopefully we'll finish it before Scarlet and Violet come out. Bird. Bye, everybody.